Last week's sales, I'll crack straight into it. First sale of the week, a BT View box, DTR 2100, £71.99 delivered. That wasn't bad. It cost me £2. Panasonic PNLV 226E power adapter for a phone, £8.49. Hello my valued viewers. If you haven't been here before, I'm Pete. If you have been here before, I'm still Pete. Welcome back. Every week these days I'm getting new subscribers. So if you're not familiar with what's going on in the channel, I buy things on car boots, auctions, other online sites, even from shops sometimes, and then resell it on eBay and other sites to make a living. The difference between what I buy it for and what I sell it for is my living. Minus the taxes, of course. Of course. Who are we? TalkTalk View box. 320GB remote included. Worked. Made sure it was working. Sold it. Sold it on offer. And then immediately cancelled. What the absolute... Ugh. It's annoying, but this is what happens when you accept offers. I do a lot of my sales through offers to watchers. I send it out maybe 3-4 times a day. A good 30-40% of my sales come from offers, but a certain amount of them don't pay. Now I know eBay created this thing where if you accept an offer you have to pay immediately. It doesn't seem to have filtered down to me. Anyway, they cancelled and I just changed the 0 back to 1 in my listing. Didn't do anything else, and within 3 hours it was sold again. Full price this time, $39.95 plus postage, $44.15. Then there was a mug, a Homer Simpson mug. It was nice. With the postage, it was £10. Next thing was a game, LA Rush, for the original Xbox OG, £4.65 delivered. One after that was this Insta 360. I got this from a Amazon returns person for £1. It's gone for $19.95. It's an Insta 360 1X batteries, 2 batteries and a charger and a little USB cable. 20 quid delivered. Nice. Next was a seahorse, the IKEA seahorse I held up before. You'll see it in the pictures. Nice it was. It had a really weak effort like LED bulb in it. So I put 2 of my nice, well I'll show you them. Nice LED golf ball bulbs with filaments. Quite warm, the colouring. 2700 Kelvin. That's very orange, very warm. But this was behind a yellow cover, so it worked pretty well actually for a night light. So yeah, I got $13.99 plus postage, £20.94. Next was a Furby Boom. She came and collected this because she was in the area. £14.50, and that was collected. Then there was another Panasonic power supply for a phone. Same number, $8.49 delivered. Then there was a Manuel Garcia Arroyo vintage pitcher jug art pottery ceramic Spanish signed. That's what it says in the title. It was a ceramic jug. It was nice. He does a specialist sort of folded flat handle at the back and the pinched lip on the jug. Yeah, it's all handmade. Quite a well-known artist. Anyway, there was 3 in the charity shop and they were £2.50 each. I got 2 of them because one of them had a very visible chip. And the other one from the 3, which was smaller than this one, was, when I looked at it, there was a crack on the inside. Such is life. It was a nice design and it had a leather thong sort of woven into the handle. Nice. But it wasn't sellable. I mean, in my opinion, it wouldn't sell to a collector, and the only real value in them is for collectors, these. So that one went, anyway, for the price of all 3 of them, plus a bit more. So, sorry, $19.99 plus postage, $26.94. Next, there was that PS4 that I cleaned up that I got from that site. It was nice once I cleaned it. So I had it up at $79.95 and I'd sent offers out. Anyway, somebody messaged me and said, can you tell me what operating system it's on? And I couldn't. So I said to him, look, later on tonight, I'll unwrap it, stick it on the TV and have a look. And that's what I did. And it came back at 9:01. I think they're up to 11 right now. So it hadn't been updated, which is fine because I hadn't connected it onto the internet. I just cleared out what was on it, factory reset. So he was pleased with that because he was going to mod it. Just a soft mod. You don't need to do any hardware on these things. You update it with a USB stick instead of on the internet. A modded operating system so that you can do your own homebrew and, you know, things like that. And play older video games on it. That's what he wanted and that's what he got. He also asked me about getting the muck off the top because I said to him, look, there's some marks on the top. Because he said, is it all unmarked and unscratched? I said, look, some marks on the top that are left from a load of scribble marks from some kid pen marks and stuff. So I've got loads of it off, but there's you know, the odd shadow left. So he inquired about how he might get the other stuff off. I said to him, look, it's tapes, alcohol, cream cleaner, and about an hour's work. He thanked me for that, but he said he probably wouldn't be doing that. Anyway, I sold it with a controller, a blue controller, for £79.95 plus postage, £86.90. And he's sent me positive feedback. Next, SkyQ mini box. You've seen me buying it recently. Held it up and said that I'd got 2 things for a £5, I believe. This was one of them. It had an HDMI cable and a power lead, £34.99 plus postage, £39.19. I did take photographs of it showing it working through the television. Next was a Sony DVP SR760. I've had 3 in stock before I sold this one, and it was considerably lower than I wanted. I think it was up at £14.99. I sent him an offer at like £13, and then he sent me back an offer at £12, and I sent him back an offer at £12.59, and he accepted that. I don't mind that. It was pretty low actually, considering the remote was with it, but I accepted it because I've got 3 in stock. £16.79 delivered. Next there's a DVD rewriter mini 8cm DVD for, it was a Hitachi camcorder with the DVD on the side of it. I bought one in, paid I think about £8 or £12. It's not working properly, so well, I've put the power adapter up for sale and the battery, and this DVD, it was sealed, £5 delivered, free post. Casio FX83 calculator next, very popular, £7.99. Next, a video game, PS2, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Operation Resurrection. It didn't have a manual, so it wasn't worth £10. I sold it for £8.95 delivered. No problem at all, that. This next one was from last week's, when I bought all those games from a guy, and there was PS1 games with the PS1s. Well, later in the car boot, I came back and I bought 5 games off him for a £5. No, £8, sorry. It was £8 because they were £2 games. And fair enough. This was the first one off that bundle that I've sold. It was gone for £33.25. I knew it was a good game when I saw it. I didn't know how good, I just knew it was unusual and a good game. It's MotorStorm Arctic Edge in an orange box. And I might add, in the gaming section, orange box is a search term in its own, because there's a game called the Orange Box, which has 4 games in it. As a search term, it's quite useful, but it's a PS2 game in an orange box. So I did put it in the title because it attracts people, and it was near mint, so I put that in the title. I told you I'd sunk to putting near mints in the title. Other people have been getting £29.99. One person had got £57 for a brand new one. £33.25, I'm happy with that. Next, Willow Tree, one of the 3 that I bought for a £5. It's only the little one. That's my dad. That's what it was called. It said it on the bottom. I did actually have to scan one of the other ones because it didn't have a name on the bottom, but mostly the Willow Tree ones have the name on the bottom, so you don't even have to look it up. You just type it straight in, pop up. There you go. Take somebody else's listing, put your own pictures in. And that's what I did. And I got £11.69 plus postage, £15.89. Next there's a JVC power supply for a camcorder. It's not the one for the Hitachi was broken, it's one for a JVC that I'd bought that was broken. And so that's sold for £12.99 plus postage, £17.19. Yeah, all those power supplies. They mostly don't go wrong, but it does pay to have a voltmeter to check them. Easy to test. You put your positive on the inside and your negative on the outside, read the voltage. If you are doing them, you really do need to check them, because that way you don't get as many returns. People do send out Duff ones, and I have bought Duff ones that just don't work, that are plugged in, they look fine, they look clean, and then you've got no voltage. And it's not the plug, it's the inside of the adapter, which just, you can't go taking them apart and gluing them back together or anything like that. It's just Duff, you just have to get rid of them, and that's why people buy new ones, of course. Next was official Guitar Hero kick drum pedal. I do have the rest of the drums, but they're in bad shape. But the drum pedal was working fine. I did test that. You can test those. They don't give a continuous voltage, they're piezoelectric, and it gives a bounce in the voltage. £17.99 plus postage, £22.19. I was happy with that though. The next sale was 2 games to a returning customer, which is nice. Always nice to have repeat buyers. And she bought 2 games off me. One was a disc-only game off my disc-only multi-listing, but I'd only just listed it, and it was a promo Gran Turismo Concept 2000 Tokyo to Geneva. It looked like a demo disc, but it was a promo. It says promo instead of demo. And it's the full game. It normally would have been given out to the press or whatever in a nicely printed up cover, but it didn't have one. Just disc only. And it was in with the PlayStation 1 games that I bought last week from that big bundle of PlayStation 1s. 3 PlayStations and all the games. And also she bought at the same time Road Rash 3D, which was an X-Rental. So it said X-Rental on, it said rental only on the disc, and it was in an X-Rental plastic box, which was like a VHS fan fold box, specifically for video games to be when you're renting them out from Blockbusters or wherever. And it said rental only on the disc. So yeah, two sort of fairly collector's items. $2.39 for the disc only and $13.99 delivered for the other one. I put them both in a box and sent them wrapped up by courier. I do try to send PlayStation 1 games by courier anyway for the protection of the box, unless the box is completely shag, in which case normally they would go as a disc only anyway. It wasn't as fragile as a crystal case, but it's still, so I sent it out wrapped up in bubble wrap in a parcel like normal. Next there was a crystal glass paperweight, one a particularly nice one. It was clear glass with bubbles in, and it was £12.19 delivered. Alright with that. It was, as I say, it's been waiting a long time to sell. November 22. Yeah, I know. I think that's the last time I put a load on at the same time, and that's one of them. I've actually got a backlog of about 30 to do at some point. Then PlayStation 4 game, which I did test actually, or I test loaded it, I didn't play it. Lego Dimensions. I bought this in the local charity shop, £1.75, sold it for 10 times as much, £17.49 delivered. It's really clean. Most PS4 games are. Get the odd micro scratch, really minor, but this wasn't. It was really clean. Quick sale and away it went. And that brings us to the stuff that was sold last week but is going out today. Yeah, and I'll show you those physically because I've got them in my hands. EK Success Large Paper Craft Edger. It cuts shapes out of the edge of the paper. You slip it in there and it's like a stamp, but it cuts the paper. I've had these for a while. Again, November 22. That's quite a long time, isn't it? And they were actually listed from earlier in the year. I hadn't listed them all at the time. Some of them had gone for £6.99. This only went for £3 plus postage, £7.20. They'd come down in price because I couldn't sell them. Next there was a game from last week's purchases. This was not from the guy with the PS1s, it was from the stall a couple of doors down. I got 6 Xbox One games for a £5, and this is one of them. This is the reason I bought all of them for a £5. Minecraft Season 2 Story Mode. There you go. There isn't much on the disc actually, it's like a key to the downloads. I did download and play it for a bit, just to test, and it was great if you like that sort of thing. £17.99. Not bad really, considering. Then there was another game, PS4 Metro Exodus. It's like a sequel to the other two Metro games. £11.67. Nice. Followed by a spline of CDRs. There you go, 50 CDRs, £11.99 plus postage, £16.19. I think they cost me £2 or £3 at a car boot. I won't say that it cost me £1 because I have not got a clue. I could probably look up in the book. Book's not in front of me, so I'm not going to bother. It's a few quid. It's somewhere between £1 and £3, £4. I don't think I'd have paid more than £3 really most of the time, thinking that it would sell for 10. Anyway, it went for £11.99 plus postage, £16.19, and that's the end of last week's sales. Now, eBay, in their infinite wisdom, if you put in all orders, comes up with a figure that includes the two ones that were either cancelled and refunded or just didn't pay, the two orders. So they think I earned £642.40, but I didn't. I actually earned, where's my sheet gone? It's fallen on the floor. £586.76. Alright with that. £586.76 in 28 sales. It's not bad at all. It works out about £21 a sale. I would like it to be £25 to £30 a sale, and I would like to be doing 30 sales. 30 sales at £30 is 900, but it's a lot better than recently in the middle of summer. It's still the middle of summer really, end of July, soon to be August, the real summer. I'll show you what's going out. A quick summary of what's going out from this week's sales. I'm just going to do a very quick summary without telling you anything about the stuff, and then I can tell you about the stuff next week. Little Big Planet 3, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, 3-pack of PS1 games, 2TB Seagate hard drive, PS2 Buzzers Junior Jungle Party. Well, I'll show you. There you go. 4 buzzers, 4 games. Willow Tree, another one. And last thing of the week, up to now, because it's this week's sales up to now, Siphon Filter PS2 game. We won't do a total of those because it's next week's sales. I'll do it then. Alright with them. I'll get this lot wrapped, I'll take it to the post office, and then I'll whip back and show you what I bought yesterday. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. There's some good stuff. Roll SpongeBob transition.
Early the next morning.
Okay, take two. It's the next morning, as I'm sure SpongeBob has just told you. Yeah, I did one last night. It was mid-30s in here. It's like a sauna when the sun's out. But it's early morning today, and it's not so bad. It's only 18 degrees C. So, yeah, redo of everything I did on my pickups video bit last night. Yeah, by the end of it, well, I was sweating cobs, I was coughing and spluttering, I had a pint of cider because I needed it, and yeah, it wasn't a very good video, and part of it was missing anyway, so redo. First things I bought at the car boot North Cave on Sunday was, if I can find them, I'm finding bits because obviously it was all in a nice neat arrangement, and now it's all in disarray. But I haven't taken it off the desk because when I reviewed the footage, loads was missing. First two bits were these. These always come in handy. Tie wrap for cables. It's the stuff that goes around bread bags type of thing, you know, twist tie. It had £1 on, but I got the two for £1. Yeah, they come in handy. I'd just run out of the last one. 15 rolls of tape. There you go. Red and white. It's not bad actually. Not bad tape. I will show you something in a second, because I'm going to cut and paste this bit in when I wrap this. This is keeping you up to date with the sales because this is today's sales. I did actually sell something yesterday. I sold it during the day and I wrapped it during the day, but that has gone out. I think I sold it this morning. What date is it today? 30th. It's sold this morning. So it's a Samsung SBC L4 battery charger. No battery, just the cable. £19.95 plus £4.20 postage. So £24.15. Not bad. It'll cost me £1 or come with a camera that's broken. I don't know. Right, I will show you the wrapped up box of it and then we're back to the video. I'm back, I've wrapped it up, it's boxed. It's a bit garish, but the tape's very strong and it was very cheap. 15 rolls for £5, 3 rolls for £1, 33p a roll. It's going by EVRI. I'm just going to print the label. It's worth saving the 30p or 25p I think it is by sending it EVRI. As long as the label's on nice and strong. There we go, address hidden. I think mainly a lot of the time when people complain about EVRI labels, they're printing them out in the shop. The people at the staff are sticking them on like that, instead of rubbing them into the box like that. Anyway, my losses are very, very small on EVRI now, especially now they're doing the photography. You know, they photograph it when they deliver it. Probably a couple this year, not bad at all. And one of them, they eventually found it when they put the claim in. After they put the claim in and I put the tracking in, they found it. Right, anyway, that's going out this morning. Back to what my pickups were. So, first things first, 15 rolls for £5. Really nice, strong, sticky stuff. Much better than the clear tape I've been using. But obviously, I still use tape if it's going over a printed label or something. Those thermal labels, don't put tape straight over them because you will get losses that way because the address fades. And I got a leather billfold wallet for 50p. I'm not sure whether I'll sell it. It's a PJ Granby. I'm not sure whether it's a good make, but it's a good quality leather that. Doesn't look like it's been used much at all. And it's the right size for the new £10 and £20 notes. So that was 50p. And I might use it once my wallet's worn out, or I might sell it. It depends on the price when I look it up. I got 2 packs of Nicorette stuff. There's one. And there's the other. I paid £1 each for these. £2 for the 2. And I don't like it. She had 4, but 2 of them were opened. So I thought I'll buy the unopened packs. That's completely unopened and sealed onto card, you can see. And that'll sell for a tenner. This one, she's resealed it. Yeah, there's only 6 and there's meant to be 7 patches. 7, sorry, where my finger is. 7, and there's only 6. So I can't really sell it as new, obviously, and you don't. No, people don't want used ones. I think that's a fail on that second set, but it is deceptive. Deceptive. She was trying to deceive me. Never mind. Then I got one of these. Red lightsaber. it wasn't working, but it was clicking, the sound, the speaker was clicking, but it is working now. You can't see it lit up because it's bright light, but it does light up. It's pretty faded though, the lighting. But it sounds good, isn't it? Yeah, they had 3, and I only bought the one with the batteries and the sound. They had the, maybe I should have bought the other one, but it was the same price, £2, and didn't have any sound, but it was still flick out. And they had a double one where you have the middle bit and you have to flick out each end. I can't remember what that's called, but they wanted more for that. Anyway, that's okay. I've cleaned it was all green. I cleaned it out, got rid of the corrosion, and it's working again. There we go, an LED light next. Cactus green, quite bright. Can you see the difference? You might if it's further away. There you go. It's got a battery box. I put my own batteries in, and it's got a USB adapter. £2. They're only £10 new. I found out afterwards, but it will sell. Next was this beautiful piece of kit, Denon stereo FM AM tuner. That's basically all I can say about it. I know it turns on and the lights come up, but I haven't tested it with speakers yet. You need to have it through an amplifier. It's just got a white and red RCA line output there, and somewhere to put your aerials. That's it. That's all you get in this. You get 20 preset memories and the tuning up and down. They're pretty straightforward, but obviously it's Denon quality. There you go. And it'll look nice with all your old Denon stuff, but it'll also go with any other separates hi-fis as a tuner. So I paid £2. Now spares and repair it's £10, and that's why I've bought it. But with it lighting up, I'm assuming it will receive FM. I've got an FM aerial that just plugs in the back there, so I will test it before I sell it, because I might be able to get 20, 25. But it's all scratched at the top, so I won't get like premium quality money. I'll just put that there on the bin for the moment. It's not going to go in the bin, it's just sitting on the rims of it. Next, I found on the same stall this. You won't read it because it's too far away. Sanyo stereo cassette player M4440, and you might recognise it from various films and things. Yeah, nice. It does eject. There we go. Put your cassette in there, close it, press play if there's batteries in it. Well, the battery compartment is a bit grubby and a bit green in places. There, you can see the green there. Look at that. Yeah, I'll clean it up, see if I can get it working. If I can't get it working, I can sell it spares and repair anyway. If I replace the rubber bands that spin it, you can get up to 75. But it doesn't have the plastic case that's sort of padded plastic on all the blueprinting on, and the shoulder strap doesn't have that, you know, or the earphones with the orange cushions. But I can still get good money for that. That was £2 as well. Should sell for between 20 and 70, but I don't think I'd get anywhere near 70. So yeah, in this condition, they're selling for, I've just looked it up, on auction, £36 operating, working. The actual belts are about £8, but they're a ball to change. With the silver cover that's like rubberized plastic, they're £75. But if you get it with the rubberized plastic, the strap, the speakers, possibly in a box, somebody's actually bid £175 on one of these, and they've sold it, which is quite a lot of money really. For not bad for £2 anyway. With the cover, parts only, £14 plus postage. Next was Sky Remote. This is an SC201. The replacement is about £7 from China. They can go from between £6 and £16, this particular one. It's not voice, it's just, oh yeah, it does have the voice button, there you go. Yeah, it's the voice button, so it is voice. But it's Bluetooth, so it's hard to test. You can actually put batteries in it, press the buttons down here and reset it. And then if you press these two buttons there, it starts pairing it with your Skybox. And that's how you test them, because there's no other way of testing them. I mean, you could test, see if the Bluetooth signal comes up on your phone, maybe, possibly. Right, after that, I got a camera. First camera of the week. Yes, I did say first, not only. So this one, in its little clamshell case, I said to the woman, how much do you want? She's like, £4. Kodak Easy Share. I don't know about that, love. Anyway, I had a 2 gig card in it. So I said, would you do £2? and she accepted that. But at the moment it has a 512 megabyte card that was in something else that I bought Sunday. They were worth about a tenner. That's it really, with a card in. So this one's a 512. I'll sell it with that card, and it is working. I've put some batteries in it. It's turning on. It's automatic with auto flash. You have to wait for it to go green. There you go. And there you go. But the reason it's automatic, there's no other option. You've got automatic, you've got filming, video capture. That's it. It's fixed focus, no focusing, which means everything's blurry all the time. Actually, it means none of it's ever focused. Snapshot for little kiddies. And quite honestly, I would buy a camera that had a zoom function and autofocus for a little kiddie. Second hand, just like this is. A lot of the Olympuses or something like that, £10–15. Well, anyway, this will sell for £10. It's an easy share, and it's got a clamshell. So there, that was £2. The next camera I bought was this one, and this is the one that had the 512 megabyte card in. It's MXJVC, but it's not JVC, it's MXJVC, which is some brand they've made up to sell it, you know. So basically it's an unbranded double digital video recorder MPEG-4. So you put your card in. I haven't charged it up yet to see if it works. It had the 512 in, and it's got an NP60 style battery. I know it's NP60 style because it had a spare battery which is NP60, but it was bulging. Yeah, bulging. It said it works. I haven't tested it yet. It's charging up. That was £2 again. Then I got a PS3 controller. It's only third party, but if I press that, you'll see it's flashing. All the buttons are fine. It will eventually stop trying to pair with the PS3 in the front room because it's far too far away for that. But I've had it paired up and it works fine. Next, I got this. I saw this on a stall. Hot Wheels. Can you see that? Hot Wheels. And I thought, oh, it's probably got some cars inside. So I said to her, how much is it? £3. And I thought, oh, with a charging £3, it won't have any cars inside. Unfortunately, it's just for the case. So I said, I'll have a look. And she handed it to me and I opened it. Or I tried to. It's really stiff to open. Anyway, it's a race track built into the case. You have two controllers, two little cars with a slot runner, a magnet at the back to hold them onto the track, and two little bushes they're called. They both have one, and then it's got a flag to go in the flagpole. I think there's meant to be a few flags, but there's only one. And then these two backgrounds for the curves. So it's virtually 100% complete except for the flags. I think this might be 3 or 4 flags, but there's only one. So she's offered me at £3. Yeah, I'll have that. Anyway, these are about £30. Anyway, I've tested it with the batteries that are in it, and it's working fine, but I will clean them out, make sure that it's all running. They're not that reliable on the track. The little cars keep falling off. I think that's what's meant to happen. You're meant to be able to sort of gauge it, like the old Scalextrics. When I was a kid, Scalextric cars were difficult to control, and part of the fun was having the skill to control them. Well, these days there's a big magnet that holds them onto the track. Yeah, they didn't have that when I was a kid. After that, I did find this. The guy was just putting this out, and I said, oh, before you put it on the floor, can I have a look at it? And he put it on the top of his table. Oh, I'll get the title up. Microsoft Sidewinder, steering wheel and pedal set. It also has the cable that goes between the two of them, and the cable goes to the USB. Yeah, and the instruction manual. So basically it's 100% complete. It's meant to be used on PCs. So I girded my loins. I said, how much is it? And he says, £2. Okay then. I'll have that. Yeah, that was £2 as well. I wouldn't pay £2 for one of these. These sell for £9.99. It is the set price on eBay, and some people charge less, but £9.99 delivered all day long. There you go. And then, yeah, I'll jump one, because I'll show that in a minute. And I'll go to power supplies. you know, I do root about in boxes. 2 Sky power supplies, 50p each. This one's an SP210UK/K. Yeah. That is for an SP210, or it could be for a 205 or a 201, something like that. Wi-Fi adapter for Skyboxes. And this one is an ER115 PSU. That is the actual part number, model number. It sounds exactly what it is. It describes exactly what it's for. It's for a Sky ER115 hub. And as you can see, I've just wrapped that up there like that. I'll get some of my green. And then I won't need to do it again for photography. But I will test it before I sell it. It's just a matter of putting me voltmeter across the inside and outside of that. Easy to do. Actually, I might even have a 115 to test this on. So they were £1. And this one was £1.50. Asus laptop power supply. Straightforward. I think they're about 19 volts. The actual thing's a bit faded, but what you can do is you can take a photograph with your camera on your phone, expand it up, and you'll be able to read it. If you ever get something like that at the car boot and you just can't read what it is, if it's cheap enough, buy it anyway. It doesn't matter what model it's for if it's cheap enough. That was £1.50. And the last thing at the car boot in North Cave was I'd been following people around, and at one point I actually came about 3 minutes late, well maybe 2 minutes late, and the guy was still rooting around in this box, and there was 2 boxes full of gaming gear on this stall, and he stood between the 2 of them rooting in one. So I said, can I have a look in that one? Oh no, I'm buying it. I'm like, are you buying it? You've bought it then? You've paid? No, but I'm buying it. And I'm like, there's 2 of them, and I looked at the prices, and she had flat prices on the flap, and it said everything in this box £30. And I looked over while he was there. I looked in the box. 2 fat PS2s with the controllers and the wires, and about 15 games. £30. And then the next one along had a PS1 and about 30 games, and it said 25 on it. Anyway, he said to the woman, I'd like both of these if that's all right. Will you do them both for £50? And she said, yeah, all right. Anyway, I did come to a stall in the extension bit because it was so hot they'd extended the whole place and spread about another 12 or 15 stalls into the car park. I came across a guy putting these on the stall. Said to him, how much? And he's like, £1 each. So I'm like, okay, how much for the lot? And without breaking sweat, he said a tenner. So anyway, I pulled off 3 or 4, opened them up, and as you know, I like to make quick decisions on these things. So, Guitar Hero 3 with the manual. Case is a bit rubbish, I'll swap it out. Monkey Mischief, no manual. Transformers, no manual. And then it goes Golden Compass, manual. Skylanders Giants, manual. Job Island Hard-Working People, never heard of that one. Anyway, from there on it's all manuals. We've got a couple of Wii Fits, don't really fancy them. I've got loads of them. In fact, at one point, just for the cases, I was buying Wii Fits from CEX for 50p each. And obviously you get the game with it, so you can just sell it disc only. GT Pro Series, Winter Sports 2008, Alien Syndrome, CSI, Snooker, My Sims Kingdom, My Sims Party, I'm a Celebrity. That went through a phase of being very popular. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex Edition. I don't know whether that means anything. Pirates of the Caribbean at World Ends. Call of Duty 3. Not bad for a tenner. Yeah. 19 games there. So that's 55p each. Shouldn't have a trouble shifting them so long as I can make sure the discs are clean, and then I will test. There is quite a bit of work involved in 19 games, but well worth it for a tenner. And that was all the car boot stuff at North Cave, £42.50. So we're moving to Hull. First thing I bought was down one of the amateur only alleys, was this camera. Came with a lens. I didn't know it was going to come with a lens. I started looking at his camera. I said, oh, is that an old Russian camera? Zenit TTL. I had one of these when I was a kid because my brother was well into his photography. He was working at a photography shop. Yeah, so he used to bring all sorts of cameras home and we'd play with them, and then he got a darkroom. So I got cameras where we could develop our own film, and this is one of them. I also had a TTL3, Zenit TTL3. Very nice, working lovely. Take the thing off. There you go. Clean at the back. I took the back out. It had a film in. It also winds back. There's a little different winder on this. You twist it one way to wind this on. You twist it the other way and it winds back. No motor wind. You have to do it manually. It's Russian. It's old. That's what happens. Anyway, it's meant to have through the lens metering, but I don't have the battery and it's flat. So there's lots of people selling these without that on for 40 quid. Anyway, he said to me, that lens goes with it. Oh man, that lens. I took it out when I got home. It had a Miranda 135mm telephoto lens. Zoom. Yeah, zoom. So somebody had tried to clean it. Somebody amateur. Yeah. And it just fell apart in my hands. They'd not put the rings back. Or maybe they'd not been able to do it. The lens was lovely and clean inside, but the actual thing just fell apart. So it's in the bin already, actually. That on its own for £10 should sell for 40. Pretty good. And then the next thing, there was a lot of broken stuff at the car boot this week. This is one of them. JVC camcorder. The lens opens. There you go. The strap's nice. That's about all you can say. Everything else doesn't work. It won't open the case. I don't know whether you need power to do that. There's a battery. There you go. And that's a 1200 milliamp hour 6-volt battery for your JVC. So that's got some value. If it's working. Anyway, I said to the guy, how much is it? And he's like, £5. I said, you kidding, are you? Kidding, are you? No power supply, no bag, no extra cables, no anything, no charger. I don't know whether the battery's working. And he's like, well, what do you think then? And I'm like, well, I'm only buying the battery, £1. You can keep the camera if you want, but I'd have the battery for £1. And he's like, no, take the camera. So I got that for £1. I saw this bag on the woman's stall and I said to her, how much is this? And she's like, £3. It's a camcorder, but it's broken. Okay. I think she wanted £5 to start, actually. £5. It's a camcorder, but it's broken. She straight off said, it's broken. And she said it's a project. And, like, it is a project if you're going to do something with this. Basically, it's beyond repair. There's no eyepiece for the viewfinder. It's got a strap. Maybe the lens is good if somebody wanted that for a spares. It does have a battery. And it has a charger, which is all I was interested in. The battery, the charger, and the remote. There's the battery. So if they're working, I haven't tested it yet. If they're working, it's worth having. If they're not working, I paid £3 for the bag. It's not a bad little bag, actually. It says Vivanco on it, so it's only third party, Vivanco. But it's in good nick, the bag, with a strap. So £3 for that. The battery will sell for 8 or 9. With the charger, it might be 20. But the camcorder itself is buggered. Next, I bought a radio. I didn't see any Roberts, but this is near enough the same sort of thing. Cable. Sony. Needs a clean. It's got some dirt on it, as you can see. It's got a good aerial. It's got a handle for carrying it about, and it's got 3 dials. That's about it. And it was £3 again, and it's working fine. They're pretty bomb-proof, these things, as long as they're not all battered up and they've been dropped loads of times. Next, I saw something across the way from where I was stood, and I made a real beeline to it, because from a distance it looks, well, what do you think? Game & Watch type of thing? But it's not. It is a retro arcade game controller. Yeah, it works. 150 games, and they're all absolute crap. Yeah, not worth having. But it cost £1, so, you know, you learn by your mistakes on those things. Next was a Behringer pedal, guitar pedal. It's not really for altering the sound though, this one. It's for tuning your guitar. There's a start button, a pitch button, obviously input, output, and a power supply. Well, they're difficult to test without a guitar, a power supply, and some other way of testing the pitch as well. It only cost me £2. Spares repair, it's 10. all fully working, it's 30. Then I got 3 video games. There we go. Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero 2, Legends of Rock, with a manual. That's PS2. PS2 Region of Fire. Case is a bit chewed. Manual disc are okay though. Really clean disc. I remember that one of them had a really clean disc. I think is that one. And then this one, Grand Theft Auto 5. Now I wanted £1 each for them, but this one was missing disc 2, the install disc. It had the game disc, and it was also missing the manual, but it did have a map. And something triggered in my brain, and I thought it's worth buying it, even as it is. So I said to him, would you do 3 for £2? And he's like, no, I want £1 each for him. I said, well, there's a disc missing off this, the manual's not in it. And she said, all right, £2. So when I got home, pulled one off a rack that I've got, and I was right, exactly that. This one was missing the install disc. I have one that's missing the game disc, but had the install disc. But it also had a manual, but no map. So manual and map, 2 discs, yeah. So that's a complete one to be listed and probably get 7 or 8. It's not in brilliant condition, but the map's okay. They have quite a big map. I'll show you. This is what makes those games worthwhile, because they've got collector's item type of things. This is the standard game, by the way, it gets the map. There you go, that's the main game area, and then there's the city of Los Santos. There you go. So, yeah, without that, the games aren't worth as much. But with it, in good nick, which that is, I think the last one I sold was a tenner. Case is okay. So that was nice. Yeah, I got another game as well. I had to pay up for this one. There you go. Steelbook. So I paid £5 for this one. Borderlands 3 for the PS4. Now I played Borderlands 1 and 2. Not completely all the way through, but they're on my bucket list. This one I will play, see how it goes, test it thoroughly. And yeah, it doesn't have its cardboard cover, but they're going for £14–15 these. Anyway, I paid £5 for that one. It wouldn't come down, he knew exactly what it was worth. I got 2 cables for PS1s. I saw this one, PS1 to SCART, sealed, from Game, £4.99. There you go, sealed, sort of sealed. There's a bit of rip in it, but it's not opened. And he said, oh yeah, I want £4.99, £5 for it. Yeah, right. It's PS1 to SCART. So anyway, I said to him, no, I'll offer you £1 for it. And he's like, no, I can't do it, sorry mate. Anyway, I saw another one on his stall, and I thought, oh, it's the same. So I said to him, how about £1.50 each? And he accepted that. So I bought both of them for £3. I just assumed this was the same thing and he'd put it back in the box. Anyway, it's not. This is an RF cable from original PlayStation 1 with the switch. You could switch between game and your sort of pass-through. So you plug your aerial into that for your TV. And no, sorry. You plug the aerial to the TV into that. And so what it does is there's a switch, and you can switch between without having to unplug and replug it all the time. These are expensive. These are what came with the original PS1 before they went into RCA cables. It's okay, but I would really want in the one with the SCART cable. I paid £3 for the 2 of them. They're not a fortune. I'll keep them for equipment to put in with. Like, if one of those PlayStations on that shelf works, I haven't tested them yet. I know it's been a fortnight. I've been busy doing other things, making money, as it were. And then the last 2 things I bought are 2 little tiny things. Skylanders, Imaginators. There you go, they've got octagonal bases. Sort of elongated ones. Anyway, this one's £3. I paid £1 each for them. Blind. I wasn't going to look them up there and then. She had all sorts of other Skylanders as well. But I just wanted these. The more modern ones. And worth more. So this one's worth about £3. So it's a bit of a dud of fail really. But I mean, I bought them blind. But this one's worth about 25. So this one's called something like Sensei Black. It's like Black Hood or something. £24–25. I think that's delivered. But that's okay. Yeah, it's just so that you can play them in the game. Some of the new Imaginators Skylanders that are rare and you just can't get hold of. £250. I kid you not, look them up. Put in Skylanders Imaginators and then do the sort for highest price. You will be amazed. That's all I can say. So yeah, they'll be listed today because they're easy. Photograph, photograph, turn them around, photograph, photograph. Simple as that. So that was £31. So I actually spent £73.50 altogether. Not a huge haul, money-wise, but there's lots of stuff to be selling and good profits all round, really. There's my money back. Or maybe that one, or... There you go, that's a good example. 40, 36. That's all my money back there on those two. The rest is free, basically. Minus fees, of course. Don't forget the fees. Right, don't forget to do one of those things below, especially the red one, if you aren't already subscribed. If you are subscribed, do the thumbs up. Loads of people give me thumbs up now. Is it because I'm asking? I don't know. Is it because they like the videos? I hope so. If you don't like the video and you think I could improve it in some way, or if you've got any suggestions, let me know. I always reply. Got loads to be getting on with. So I'm going to say goodbye. Speak to you later.